Hi, this is Ken Lau. I received a case study on how to delete the hot columns. Right, what it means that there's a worksheet, right? That there is a need to delete these hot columns, all these hot columns. Not only that, before that, there is a need to copy this worksheet into three different worksheets and then divide it into rename it into hot the worksheet name is hot and the other is room and the other is cold, so there's a three worksheet. So I have this case study, right? So now how do I get this case study? It comes back to uh, this some pre-works that I done for my clients, right? So so I have talked about this, right? Because the clients actually thanks me for spending time to understand the process prior to the training sessions, right? That is very critical, right? Always I talk about that what professional IT trainers or corporate trainer do differently is that here, right? In my YouTube channel, I talk about that the professional trainer tips, right? It's right here. This is a link, right? They actually do how to maximize the virtual training. So you can watch it, yeah. So you watch about this, right? So I include that links right here, right? Or you can just search for this term professional tips. There is also another professional trainer tips too, right? So now um, it is not enough to have a recorded video, right? I have a recorded video digital library for them to watch again and again, right? But then to watch again and again, you cannot solve this case study because I didn't thought that it's important to learn how to remove the column, so I did not record it yet. So, but after this, you will have a one new video on how to record this. Okay, now let's stand back to how do I solve the questions. The first step is that I draw it. I draw it on a piece of paper. Okay, so I basically draw it. Before that, I actually uh, when we last week itself, I still do the same thing. Is that I look at the screen, look at the I look at this and then I write down the things like. But it just can't, right? Because it's very different when I'm my method is that when I draw it on a piece of paper, I can start writing, right? And these numbers is there, right? Because you see that there is numbers right on the top. I see that also, but I just couldn't find the relationship. So until I draw it and then I start writing the distance between this column to the point, original point, then I have this. Okay. Now this idea didn't come easily because uh, I I forgot to do this thing. Yes, it's about giving thanks, right? Now, in our negara in Malaysia, right, our rukun negara says that kepercayaan kepada Tuhan. So if you kepercayaan kepada Tuhan, then you need to do this, right? Now, what can you grateful for, right? What can you grateful for? Anything you want to think about, right? Let's say you just put it, right? Now, let's say about food, right? Let's just start food. And these are the things that you can think about grateful for, right? Give thanks to God. Yes. Give thanks to my parents and many other parents. And give thanks to my teacher, my kindergarten teacher, my primary teacher, my secondary school teacher, my university school teacher, right? In fact, without the primary school teacher, right, I would not learn how to. In fact, my first teacher is my mother. I would not know how to know what is one, two, three, four, and then without that, I was not able to calculate these, right? The patterns, to identify the patterns. I have to give thanks to my university students, uni teacher because lecturer because he taught me how to use the how to find out the patterns, right? Although when we do learn the C++ at time, right, this the patterns is something that is like, what, why should I need to learn this thing, right? I'm coming to learn how to do programming, and I learn this like what, 3 times 0, 3 times 1, 3 times 2, right? Like, but later on you see why is this important, right? All this is related. Now it's all stand for, right? And also I want to give thanks to Excel gurus on the internet. I do a research, but without their uh, giving, right, I will not be able to solve this, right? So again, these are the people that I want to give thanks, right? There are many other parties I want to give thanks to, the the governments, the police, because without the stability, right, I do you able to talk here, right? There's many military, the Air Force, Sea Force, right? There is a lot of people that we need to give thanks to. All right. So, yeah, let's move on to that, right? So that I show you the example, right? So now let's let how to do that, right? So how to that? This is the test. Um, this is the worksheet tab, right? So I want to remove these whole things, right? So there are many ways to do that, right? You can just go to the first one. You can make use of the union, okay? So if you only need to remove a fixed number of columns, let's say it's called 22, column 20, column 20, 23, 26, right? You can use this method, okay? So just write this down, you can get it down, right? So that is you need to set, because it's an object, right? The range is the object. You set range equal to that, and then if you want to return this, then there's a very useful function I learned from the Excel gurus, right? So yeah, so it's called the it's not this this return name, right? All you need is just a split, right? Splitting the cell, um, using the split cell function, right? So there is a few methods. So what it does mean is just actually it's like a, for example, a $sign one, right? Yeah, so a $sign one. So we want to split this, right, by using this $sign here. So this is the $sign we're talking about. Okay, so this is the type. There are four types of address, right? We do the absolute reference, relative reference, and mixed reference. So one of them is this. So we split it, and then we take the. I guess that we want to take uh, the first part, right? The first part. So yeah, so it's one. So return the split. Next is that using this return, right, we can make use of deleting non-consecutive. Now, deleting non-consecutive is, you see that there is a return name here, right? Return name. So we using this also. So return name and then the 20 and 20. So this basically that you can have, if you delete columns, right, you can actually do a very shorter one. It's like this 20 will actually return the value of that column T, right? So column T combined with the column, so it's like this, right? So it become T colon T, and then comma, then it join with another part. Now this is still very not dynamic. So because the challenge is that this number of clause, right, number of blocks, right, will not be fixed. It will not be always only. I call this a block, right? This is one block. So I just learned that it's like this is one block. Then this is another block. Okay. So this is another block. So every three columns is a block. So yeah, and then just come back to this is the critical things why it takes me some time to because I need to draw it. I don't want to draw this. This is a block, right? And then and there's a number of blocks. So in this example here, there's only 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? You can see the red color here. 4 blocks. And I began to think about what is I mean, God gave me the ideas to think about the difference between here to here, right? As I say, I need to give thanks to God, give thanks to the primary teacher, my first teacher, my mom, right? My parents, my father, that taught me about numbers. So yeah, so that is then we talk about the patterns, right? I start begin 1, 4, 7, 10. 1, 4, 7, 10. What is the pattern like? So if we go closer it a bit, right? So I write down 1, 4, 7, 10, and then I see that actually is from the starting point is actually 17. So 17, you add plus 4, you comes to 21. Okay, so why is it that no, you get one, right? Because you want the room. The room one is like you just press one, and then this is the 4. So there is a pattern. 1, 4, 7, 10. One is actually that is a 3 column, something to do with that. So 4 is actually 3 times 1 and then plus 1, and then 7 is actually 3 times 2 plus 1. So with that knowledge, you can actually think about that to have a more dynamic one is this. So you can see that here is more dynamic. We choose the solutions, it still remain the same. It's just that 17. Why 17? Because it is the column that we talk about on the here 17. Row column 17 is the starting point. So this is a starting point. This is a starting point. So you have this starting point, and then from here is row 1, and then this is 4, 5, 4. So yeah, so with that we will complete this, right? Then there is 0 to 3. So why 0 to 3? Because our block has 4 blocks, but it start the index from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So that is why there is this. Okay, that is completed, right? So if you if you want to delete a non-consecutive column, you can use this method. If you are deleting only a handful of there, right? So it's like you want to delete, but that's not very make sense at the moment, right? So you just want to delete from here to the end, right? Then you can just specify it's from 18 to 32, right? Then you can make use of the deleting consecutive. This is less dynamic, however, there are in certain situations you might want to use this, right? So it's just basically tell what is the row number, the column number. One is being the column A, 100 is, I forgot what is that. But if you talk about change it to 26, then I know it is column Z, right? So column A to column Z, you want to delete, you can use just this, right? Remember, this is just represent, this is really just same as a column to Z. Okay, so you just replace it. So this is actually about the same, uh, except that you use the column to represent it. So it also means like this. If you want to do to write it this way, you can, right? You can use just A to Z. Okay, if it's a text, right? If it's a string, you need to enclose with a double quote. If it is another variable name or another function, you don't enclose with double quote, right? So that's it. This is how to solve these questions. The challenging question, it takes you a lot of time, right? This question is raised because it is the engineers they are doing it every single week, months, years. So they are always need to have a needs to copy this worksheet to another parts, right? So I just want to show you that you can actually copy a worksheet by using this method. So okay, let's say I want to change to room. Well, okay, so I have a raw data here, so then I can just go for okay, I don't even need to choose that, right? I just need to go here and you watch that, right? So just a few rooms, right? And I just run this code. Okay, that's it. Then there's a room being created. So from there, I can call another method, which is to delete the other hot and cold, right? So that's it. Very simple. Very simple. Uh, it seems very simple, yeah. Everything seems simple after when you get the solution. But before that, it is never simple. I will just tell you, right? It takes me hours a day to think about, yeah, because I forgot that what I was told, right, is to when I solve a solution, I need to draw it on a piece of paper, and then I need to first give thanks to uh, the following parties, right? Give thanks to God. It's never simple if I just rely on myself, right? And in this set, there's nothing to rely on myself, right? There's no such thing rely on myself. I'm born with all the knowledge learned from my parents, from my teacher, from God, from my wife, from my friends, from my ex. What do you mean rely on yourself, right? No, we always need to work with others, collaborate with others in terms of knowledge and monetary resources. We always work with many people. So that's why we need to be humble before God, before our parents. We need to respect our parents because without them, who we are. Thank you.